illegitimate due to dementia and because he's not going to make any decisions of his own. He's incapable of it. The dude doesn't even know his name half the time, it seems. Fucking moron. He was coherent even 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I mean, he's already elderly, 75. He could get a sentence across. He knew where he was. He was snappy. He was with it. He's not now. Yeah, people should be joining Parler and BitChute and Odyssey and all of the other sites. Rumble's good. I think I just hit 11,000 subscribers on Rumble. I'm approaching 120,000 subs on BitChute. What the fuck would I care if YouTube bans me for? I got a bigger audience on BitChute at this point than virtually anyone on YouTube. It's difficult to get to a six-figure total on YouTube. YouTube's a huge site. Way harder on BitChute. There are other people, X22 Report and InfoWars have got over 100K. And Dave Cullen, Tim Pool, Stefan Molyneux, Black Pigeon Speaks, High Impact Flicks, I think is one of them. I think I'm saying that right. And a few others, they're all well above 50,000. Site's growing fast. Big things are ahead. The time has come to begin abandoning mainline tech. For those of us who are creators, it makes more sense to try to get others to do that with our platforms pre-existent. But I mean, if you're not making content on YouTube anyway, there's, what's the point? You're not going to see the content you like much longer. Our political structure is crumbling. DC is no longer particularly legitimate in any main way. By the way, I hate to have slow mode on. I am sorry if you make a comment, you can't comment for another 5 minutes. Really though, when you get 12,000 people on a stream, can get a little bit dicey. I've got it on top chat only. I can't even see all of the live chats. That's just so that I can go through and I can kind of read the super chats. Yeah. The woman who died was an Air Force veteran. And the left is celebrating her death. Oh, well, the traitor died. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, meanwhile, I'm supposed to shed crocodile tears every time someone from BLM gets shot by a cop because they were running around with a gun, waving it around, talking about how they were going to kill people. It's interesting how the people get shot by the Capitol Police. They're not armed. They're not doing anything particularly violent at the time. They get shot. Those are traitors that were rightfully killed, and it was a violent riot. But if a bunch of leftists, heavily armed, intimidating people, making terroristic threats, throwing bombs and shit, burning Wendy's to the ground, that's a mostly peaceful protest, and they're victims if the police get involved. Don't you think this is lopsided a little bit? And some people saying, well, it's the U.S. Capitol, so it's different. Fuck the U.S. Capitol. It's just a building. Who cares? The Wendy's is arguably more useful. At least that's generating a profit. You can get a burger there. Wendy's is better than the U.S. Capitol. Fucking the Capitol, remove the Washington Mall altogether and put a real mall there, and at least it'd be profitable. D.C. would be in the black for the first time in history. Fuck the U.S. Capitol building. These protesters showed far more decorum towards the Capitol than the politicians do. What do you think of Rand Paul's speech? It seemed out of touch. I think Rand wants to be above this fray because he sensed danger. And he's right. People that are getting involved right now and speaking out in favor of the truth which is that the establishment caused this problem by justifying violent riots for months in the wake of Fentanyl Floyd and others, by ignoring most of the population and calling them names when they said that they were aggrieved. They're responsible for it, for this situation, for those deaths, for damage to the Capitol, for the whole fucking thing. But if you say that, it's not going to be considered popular among mainline America. You're supposed to blame Orange Man. So those of us who aren't going to blame Orange Man because we've got an IQ beyond room temperature will be targeted. Rand Paul doesn't want any part in it. He doesn't want to be targeted. He's apparently hedged his bets a little bit. I can't necessarily respect it, but I can definitely understand it. Same with the Capitol protesters. I'm not going to condone violence of any kind or people invading the Capitol, but I get it. I understand why they're pissed. Now, what are we going to do about this as a conservative in Illinois? Well, again, it's easier to affect things on a local and state level. State houses, a lot of people think the federal government has more power than it really has. The states predominantly have power. When you look at the lockdown situations, it's coming from the states. Federal government didn't lock anything. Biden's not going to lock anything down. He's just going to coerce the states. So target the state governments. Get better governors, get better state legislatures, get better mayors, shield yourselves at the local and state level. The federal government in the United States is not the supreme legal entity. It has a lot of power, but it is far more limited than people think. And conservatives and or non-leftists in general, they're very much better at targeting those local races because typically it's more grassroots. Go after, run for office, petition for somebody else, get somebody else who you know who's skilled to run for office, support them, not just online, ring doorbells, pound the pavement, do everything that you can. Otherwise, your republic falls. Restore democracy at the lower level. You can't build a house and not have a solid foundation. If everything is rotting out on the local and state level, it really doesn't matter who the president is. Look at what Trump has faced in obstruction. A lot of it's come from states, not from the federal government. And those states, they can coerce the people in Congress too. Governors have sway over what the Congress people from their state do. Not official power, but some sway ideologically. Thoughts on McInnes Censored.tv? I don't use it. It's a nice idea, but I think it's paywalled. So it's less useful than actual alt tech. Paywalled sites, it's like some of the people that use it exclusively or otherwise, and basically they're holding themselves back. People saying stop voting. No, you shouldn't stop voting. You should focus more on local and state elections. A lot of times the turnout in local elections is abysmal. Turnout in statewide elections is abysmal compared to federal elections. It would be easy for the MAGA crowd to take the state houses. Be easy. It wouldn't even be hard. Organizing, you wouldn't need much organization. You could have a bunch of governors. And by the way, if enough states are in the grasp of a political movement, they have even more disproportionate power. They can run roughshod over the federal government. Yeah, wait till you see the amount of money they're going to use to armor up all the buildings in the Capitol. Yeah, it was a farce. They let those people in for a photo op. I guarantee that they did. You can't convince me in a million years that heavily armed Capitol guards weren't capable of defending that building. It looks like they explicitly let them in when they started crossing the first security barricade. They basically backed up and went in the building and said, fuck it. Didn't bother to bar the gates. Hey, door's wide open. Hey, come on in. Yeah, don't mind the camera. Hey. Yeah, this is great. The AP is going to love this. It was a setup. They let them in, which is exactly why they're going to use this to censor people and pass more draconian legislation. That's a guarantee. It's not even a prediction. It's just saying that it will happen. And Beijing, Biden will go along with it. Oh, come on, man. We need to heal as a nation. There are no more elections, as Georgia proved. That's not the case. You got to realize, again, the state election systems are in part controlled by the governors who appoint the AGs, by the way, in the states. Focus on gubernatorial and state legislative races. Focus on local elections. Your mayor, your local mayor and your governor controlling sheriffs and police forces have a huge amount of legal latitude. You wouldn't believe it. Most people think the federal government's why their life sucks. No, the states primarily are the ones that make the laws. That's why some states are better off than others fiscally. Look at South Dakota right now. There's no lockdown there. People go about business as usual. Now look at New York, where people are dying like in droves. It's because of Cuomo. That's why. I, for one, congratulate President-elect Xi Jinping. Will Styx thank people for all the donations? Yes, I thank you all very, very much for the donations. I'm not really reading them out, though, today because I needed to rant. Stupidity. When people are in error, when people are wrong, it really rubs me the wrong way. Most of the population doesn't even fucking understand what's happening right now. A lot of them have been deluded by the MSM into thinking Trump just attempted to stage a coup. Trump literally tried to dissuade people and tell them to go home. He got banned from multiple platforms for doing so. Why? Because they don't want it to look like Trump was trying to calm people down. They want to lie to people and pretend that Trump was the one whipping the flames. Yeah, to paraphrase Stalin, it does not matter who votes, it matters who counts the votes. That's true. That's why you've got to make sure to get people in there to count the votes that are actually legitimate and honest. But right now, a lot of times, both the Dems and Republicans, they neglect things down ballot. And focus just on the presidency and secondarily on federal elections. They don't give a shit about the states. The Republicans successfully picked off another state house, despite the fact that the Democrats wanted to take up to 6 from the Republicans in this last election for a reason. It's impossible for any party or any political movement to simultaneously control the entire election apparatus of the United States. It's just too complex. It's too much in it. Yeah. Vote for good sheriffs. Expect them, make them sign a pledge that they're not going to enforce unconstitutional orders. Get governors in there that comprehend the Second Amendment, especially the First. And especially in California, Californians down ballot have the ability to basically save the world right now. If they were to pick away at local elections and then headhunt after Silicon Valley, you could get things done without the federal government's involvement, just by threatening subsidies, just by doing that. But nobody's made a significant effort to do so, and that's why life sucks.